my first 10 years, every Tuesday, Thursday, in Madame Rosa, which means our work is hinged on your presence. So we want to thank you. I'd like to also welcome my dear sister at Lord Zoom. I know she'd come here a couple of times. On the occasion that she came, I was out on assignment. So I'm glad that sister with you today and welcome. Today is World Radio Day. And as a communication ministry, we'd like to congratulate all journalists, especially broadcasters, on the occasion of World Radio Day. The day is celebrated on the 13th of February each year. Established by UNESCO in 2011, the day is to raise awareness on the importance of radio as the medium of communication, information, and entertainment. It highlights the role of radio in promoting freedom of expression, providing a platform for dialogue and fostering cultural diversity. Each year, World Radio Day has a specific theme that reflects current issues and trends in the world of radio broadcasting. This year's observance of World Radio Day is themed Radio and Climate Change, a timely and important subject that emphasizes the pivotal role of radio in disseminating information, raising awareness, and catalyzing actions on climate-related issues. We are told that a formal program commemorating this year's event has been hosted by the Association of Liberian Community Radios in Painesville at the City Hall. It is expected to bring together all ALICO members, national and international media development partners, government officials, and other stakeholders. Transparency International has released the 2024 Corruption Perception Index. And the government of Liberia welcomes the report, which ranks our country 27 out of 100, 0 being the lowest achievement and 100 being the highest. And this rank reflects a 2-point minimum leap forward, small as it is, but it's a significant step in our anti-corruption drive. It departs from our previous position, which was 25 out of 100 in 2023. While recognizing that this is progress, even though very marginal, the government notes that it is a significant and major step in the right direction. But we also acknowledge that much work still needs to be done, because between 2014 to 2023, the country dropped 12 points. The 2024 result now puts the country at a point of 10. The government also takes note of what we see and consider a constructive caution from the Center for Transparency and Accountability Center that the Boakai administration should not be complicit based on the 2-point lead, but that they should do more because there's still a lot to be done. We acknowledge that, and we agree that there is a lot to be done. The President, and the government will take note of some of the other observations in the report, as well as the critical comments made by Central in releasing the report. We do not see these anti-graft institutions as relevant. So from time to time, we pay attention to what they say. We may disagree when they say something that we don't believe is a fact, but we continue to respect them and value their work, because in the end, it benefits the country. President Boakai has departed the country this morning for Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, to participate in the 38th Ordinary Session of the African Union Assembly that is scheduled to take place between February 14 and 16. The summit theme, Justice for Africans and People of African Descent through Reparation, will convene head of state and government across the continent to deliberate on pressing issues affecting Africa and establish a policy priority for the upcoming year. The President is also expected to engage in discussion focusing on sustainable financing mechanisms for quality education and skill development in Africa, aligning with Liberia's commitment to advancing educational opportunities and economic growth. The President is accompanied by a delegation of senior government officials, including Foreign Minister Excellency Cyril Nyanti, the Minister of State with her portfolio, Mamaka Belete, and Economic Advisor Mole Kamara. Other members of the delegation include Grand Bassa County Senator Bezenga Finley, the Chair on Executive in the House of Representatives, Honorable Sekou Kane, who will participate in various high-level meetings and side events at the summit. This joining marks President Boakai's first attendance of an African Union summit since assuming power in January 2024. His participation underscores Liberia's dedication to active engagement in continental affairs in collaboration with fellow African nations to address shared challenges and promote sustainable development. While he's away, he will also hold bilateral meetings with other African leaders on matters of mutual interest, including regional security, economic cooperation, and strategies to combat climate change. The Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, the Honorable Sylvester Grizzly, will chair the Cabinet in consultation with the Vice President in the absence of the President. President Boakai and his delegation are expected back in Liberia on February 17th. As you may all be aware, and we need to echo that, because when we get bad news, we run with it. The things that are positive can easily be buried. And that's why I'm glad the LACC boss is here. But President Boakai took a very decisive action to suspend a number of government officials for failure to declare their assets. The Code of Conduct mandates public officials to declare their assets within 30 days of taking over their offices. Some of the individuals who were suspended by the President remained in their positions for much longer time. The President was flexible, and sometimes he gave them ultimatum to do so within 10 days. I guess still some didn't see the necessity. So the action on suspension came based on a full briefing or the provision of the listing from the LACC on those who were considered non-compliant. The rest of the details about the suspension order is already known to the media. But we wanted to underscore that those who believe that the President and his administration are not serious. For some to say we playing or paying lip service. These actions should convince you, or at least give you some inclination that the president and his government take the anti-corruption effort very seriously. That is the reason why I've always said, and I will repeat, those who are getting or working in the different anti-corruption institutions, whether it's the IACC, whether it's the GAC, whether it is the IAA, they are being allowed to do their work without interference from the president or the executive collectively. All that we ask for, because these things involve people's character, is that people should be, or these institutions should be very meticulous in doing what they do. And by the time they reach conclusion about whether John Brown did X, Y, Z, they should be supported with all the facts, so that when the prosecutorial arm of the government decides to take court action, they can defend the charges and that they can pursue those cases successfully in the court of law. But for as long as President Boakai is in charge of the country, all of these institutions can do their work fearlessly, go to bed without thinking that somebody will run after them. In fact, that's why the government made sure they are protected. He saw the LACP boss coming, like you put him and say, no, you don't brawl. So you want to go do something because of our white, you got to face that man first before you reach the enemy. So we continue to expand that space so they can do what they're supposed to do, because the truth is, it's a small country, blessed with resources, but perhaps the most backward on the continent. So we need to be asking ourselves, why? There could be many reasons. But there's no doubt that one of the reasons of our backwardness is corruption. And that's why it should be an effort that should be embraced by all of us. I know most times the focus is on government and government officials. But to completely uproot corruption, we got to take it way down the line. People got to start beating the cock in the butt for it to go in, so the corporate rates can be reduced for them to make more profit. Teachers should not take bribe from students to give them grade. In our different small organizations, when we are put in charge of finances, we should not convert them, for our own use. You see, because those of us who can come to government, we're not angels. We come from over there. We come from churches, we come from mosques, we come from different community-based organizations. We are generally some of you will be information ministers tomorrow. So the things you will do here will not be what you learn here, they will be the things you go from down there that you bring it up. So to tackle the issue of corruption, they must go deep down to the fabric of society. That's where people will come from before they come to public service. We've had some couple of good news in the energy sector. I know there's been too much talk about energy, electricity. Some people say the heat killing them. And normally when I hear that, because I live in a part of Monrovia that I've never had electricity in Broadway, Parker Corner. So I take it away from myself, not ever been, but I look around me and I see all the other people who live there. For them to see electricity, they got to be a generator or community current. The state shows some kind of resilience. Those of us who got it every day. On the current goals, then the IEC is the worst institution on earth, or in Liberia. To the extent that sometimes we attempt to distort information. We do have about 50 gigawatts of current from Cote d'Ivoire. So Cote d'Ivoire decided that because they have some challenges too, they decided that they would cut our 50 megawatts of electricity supply to Liberia by 7.5%. What that meant is that you reduce the team from 50% to another level just by 7.5%. So those of you who are mathematicians, you can do the math. And know what 7.5% of 50 represents. If you remove that from the total, it means what it's giving us is the balance of the subtraction of that 7.5%. But people ran with it on all social media, all over the place to say, I will not review the current and give it up to 7.5 megawatts. People comfortably spoke to that. Some instead of really moved. And sometimes you get confused and locals say, but so what about this that you celebrating? You got all your energy challenges here. Your hydro is supposed to be 8 megawatts. It got some challenges there. The power station there on the Bushu Island, I think they're giving her about 38 megawatts. And the whole CLSG and refers to bring 50. And they say we'll reduce it 50 by 7.5%. People turning it around and say, no, they're reducing the whole thing to 7.5 megawatts. And then for others, it was a cost to celebrate. What do we want for our country? So the Vice President, over the weekend, decided to take some leadership. He called all the actors in the energy sector. And then he looked around and see who are some of the people who served in the sector before that are still around. Harry Nua and others. And he assembled them in Nimba. And they took some time to talk about the energy problem and made some very concrete and tangible conclusions. One of them is the fact that, you know, the water level will always drop once it is dry season. So we can't keep using it as a complaint as a government. We've got to find a solution. So part of what they thought to do is, yes, we'll continue to engage the CLSG whole process,